चालू करा.
Wait, I can't hear.
प्रणाम सर. नमस्ते मैम.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Yes, this is my fourth time presentation on this platform, and I'm very fortunate. Before telling about myself, let me just share my screen, and please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you all see this? Yes, okay. So it is said that necessity is the mother of invention. And this entire sentence was given by a great Greek philosopher, that is Mr. Plato. So I hope you are aware of Mr. Plato, who actually came up with this sentence where the key term is necessity and the other important term is invention. So whenever necessity arises, something new is created. For example, you can see in this picture here, okay, the people are from poor background and they were forced to wear masks, and that was the necessity for them, and they created a mask out of the leaf. So that is what I mean. So when something is created, we call that as creativity, which is like thinking out of the box. So hello everyone, this is Merin here, and my full name is MERIN.T. I am an ex-principal, ex-lecturer. Currently also I'm a guest lecturer. I have worked with various national and international organizations, and currently I'm practicing as a trainer and a motivational speaker. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to come up on this dais again and give another speech about creative thinking. So, yes, today's topic is creative thinking. So, I hope all of you are aware of what is creative thinking. If not, it's okay. Today, we are going to become creative. Okay. So, first, let us understand creative. So, what is creative? Can anyone tell me? I really request all the participants to participate because we all are here to participate, right? And I would request to switch on your cameras if it is possible, because we are going to have some activities. It is not just one way, you can say, speech. It is going to be mutual speech or mutual webinar. Okay, I hope all of you will be supporting me in this. So, can anyone tell me what do you understand by creative or creativity? Yes, please.
Novelty plus utility, or novelty plus beauty.
Novelty plus utility.
Utility,
Yes.
one thing, and there are two main arts: novelty plus beauty.
Novelty plus beauty. Wow, wonderful. So thank you so much, Doctor Sir. Because the letters are very tiny for me to read it out. So yes, creativity is nothing but coming up with new ideas. So let me show you another slide. Is my slide visible?
Ma'am.
Okay. Now creativity. Creativity is the ability to make something new. So we must be creative in daily life, right? Can anyone give me example how exactly we are creative in daily life? Any example? Anybody? Yes, we have various personalities here, great personalities. Can anyone give me example of creativity in our daily life? What about cooking? So every day that question arises to every woman or a man. Okay, women or a man who cooks at home. They have this struggle every day that what should I cook? Do you all come across that question every day? Yes? Yes.
Definitely,
Now,
definitely.
definitely, yes. So coming up with new things, especially my children, they ask me, "Mummy, make something new." Always that dal roti, always bhindi fry. What is this? Make something new. So I really feel sometimes we should have some magic box to come up with some creative dishes every day. So yes, we perform creativity activities every day. Okay. Now, creativity is the ability to make something new. That is what I said. So it is not only in daily life, in personal life, even in professional life, people get noticed only when they are creative. Am I right or wrong? People get noticed only when they are creative. If everyone is the same, performing at the same level, will they be notified? Like, will they be noted at least?
No.
Right? They have to be creative. Now, when I say creative, we can be creative with respect to creating a picture, a piece of music, or coming up with some new idea. Now, can you see this picture? What I clicked on? Can anyone tell me what can that be? Quickly. How does it look? Yes, how does that look? Anyone? Yes, I'm
It's
sorry
frog.
about messaging. Yeah, it looks like frog, right? It looks like frog, but actually, I
It
want
is
to
not.
show you. Yes. Can you see now? What do you see? You see a child who is creating a shadow which looks like a frog. So that is what we call it as creativity. So which is something new, right? We have been creative during our childhood because our mind is open that time. So we are not restricted to our daily life, right? Now though we are all running the race, morning till evening we are following the same schedule. Nothing is creative now. But when we are in our childhood, when we were in childhood, we have this openness to receive, to formulate new ideas and come up something new. So this is what I call it as creativity, right? Now I wanted to look at this another picture. So can anyone tell me what you can see in this picture? You can see different forms of dinosaurs, right? Is it visible? Yes, participants. I want all of you to participate. Yes. Yes, different forms of dinosaurs. Different forms of dinosaurs. Now, do you think dinosaurs actually look the way we see them on TV, in movies, or in books? Do they look like that actually? No, they don't. They have been created. The dinosaur which is shown on TV or in Discovery Channel, whatever it is, they are all are created. What we have come across is only the fossil, the bones of those big giant animals which we call as dinosaurs. But they don't exactly look the same the way it is shown to us. That is again a creativity, like an act of creativity. Right? Now let us move on. Now, that is creativity. Now, what is creative thinking? So, creative thinking is nothing but thinking differently to come up with new ideas. So, coming up with new ideas is creativity. Thinking about coming up with new ideas is creative thinking. Now, this is the skill what we are going to describe further, and we are going to apply this today. And I want all of you to have a paper and pencil if possible, so that we can perform certain activities now. Okay, so the ability to think differently and find ways of solving problems, that is what we call it as creative thinking. It's an inventive thought process. So the thought process which happens daily, we are not talking about that thought process. We are talking something totally different, where we put things together in a different way, come up with a totally a different idea. So, in other words, we can call creative thinking as thinking out of the box. Now, when I say box, what do I mean? Box means I'm talking about the regular ideas what we get. The regular utilities of the things, we call it as okay within the box because everyone knows it, right? But coming something different is we call it as, that is what we call it as thinking out of the box. So today we are going to learn further about what is this thinking out of the box, or what is this creative thinking. Now, creativity you could see in various activities. Now, one of the important point what I want you to notice is the logos. So, have you all seen the logos of different companies like Nike? You would have seen LG, Samsung. Have you all seen logos? Brand logos. So, what have you noticed? Do you see different companies having the same logos? We don't see, right? We don't see different companies having same logos, and it is not accepted. Every company has its own brand logos. Can you see this picture here? I know it is small, but still you will get an idea how different brands have different logos, and it is not easy to create logos. They have to be really creative, and people hire other experts to create these logos, and they are paid really well. You know, that is where the creativity plays a role in this. And as simple as our email ID. So, have you tried creating your email IDs, and every time the Google says that this email ID already exists? Even if it is your own name, for example, your name at gmail.com, it will prompt that this email ID already exists. So, you must be wondering, like, what is this? Every time I give some new email ID, it says it is already existing. So that is where again our creativity comes into picture, because the email ID has to be unique, right? And even these logos has to be patented. Logos have to be patented. Why? Because the other people should not copy it. So that is where the creativity plays a role. So let us see some other activities where creativity is seen. Now, writing poem. Okay, so you would have seen people writing poem. No two people write the same poem, or every poem will be different, right? That is again creativity. Writing new stories, varieties of stories. How many of you heard about Harry Potter? Yes, can you all message in the chat or raise your hand? How many of you shown, like seen, sorry, Harry Potter? Yes, wonderful. So how creatively that entire movie has been actually created, right? So that is what we call it as creativity. Paintings. Now we have various types of painting. Again, we may not like the same type of painting. Why there is an art exhibition? That to show our creativity. So creativity we can see even in paintings. Now potteries. So all of us love keeping vases or pictures in our houses, right? अपने घर में हम लोग सब वैज रखते हैं जिसमें फूल रखते हैं. जब आप वैज खरीदने के लिए जाते हैं तो आप देखते हैं वो वैज कितना सुंदर है, वो वैज किस तरह से डिफरेंट है. So that is where again creativity plays a role. Now inventions. तो वेरियस इन्वेंशन अभी तक जो भी इन्वेंट किया गया है वो सारे जो है that is the result of, or you can say those are the results of creativity. One of the very important creative idea which has recently I have come across in on LinkedIn actually. I don't know if your people seen something called as bionic eye. Did anyone hear about this bionic eye? Now this bionic eye.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay, wonderful. Now, this bionic eye is a creation which has been invented in one of the Australian university. So, यहाँ पे एक bionic eye, एक eye create किया गया है, जहाँ पे एक चिप डाला जाता है आंखों में, like there will be a chip which will be inserted in the eye, and that chip will collect the light energy. जो भी light आता है उसको collect करता है और उसको convert करता है electrical impulse में, and those impulse will go and trigger the brain to form the image. And this is one of the wonderful inventions till now which will help the blind people to see. So isn't it wonderful? Yes, audience. Yes, it is wonderful. Like, it is very difficult, Till now, there is no operation which has been successful for everyone, or there is no invention which would be easy for people to go for it, especially the blind people, to see the world, right? But if this comes out into the market with the affordable price, then think about what is going to happen. Then this is the picture what I wanted to show you earlier. That is the various dishes where the creativity has to be shown. So I hope you're aware that हमारे देश में बहुत सारे ऐसे बड़े बड़े शेफ्स हैं, बावर्ची जिन्हें बोलते हैं, बट इंग्लिश में हम स्टाइलिशली शेफ्स बोलते हैं. दे आर नोन फॉर देयर क्रिएटिविटी. वो कितने क्रिएटिव से अपने डिशेस को डेकोरेट करते हैं. So it is not only about the taste, it also about the presentation. अभी प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए आपने देखा ही होगा, प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए एक कैरेट में से फ्लावर निकलता है, कैरेट में से एक स्वान बन जाता है, राइट? कैरेट में से रोज बनता है, वाटरमेलन से लोटस बनता है. हैव यू सीन दैट? Using watermelon, they can carve it into the shape of lotus. Now, what do we call all those? They all come under creative ideas or activities. Now, why are we talking about creativity and why is it important? So, let us talk about that. Now, why creative thinking is important? Please, I want all of you to concentrate here, because this is what will help you to be really successful in your personal life as well as in your professional life. The first one, improve decision making. So अगर आप creative thinking develop करते हैं, that will help you to make proper decision, right? We would have come across in our life where we would have taken the decision, later we would have realized that, oh my god, I did a mistake, right? But if you have this creative thinking ability, you will be able to analyze your decision and come up with the right decision. So that is one of the usefulness of creative thinking. Now, problem solving. Creative thinking helps us to solve any problem in a totally different way. जैसे रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में जनरली जैसे सॉल्व करते हैं, हम वैसे नहीं सॉल्व करेंगे, हम थोड़ा डिफरेंट से हट के अलग से सॉल्व करेंगे. That is what we call it as creative thinking. Now, the third point, creative thinking help us to improve our research skill. जब हम बोलते हैं research, we actually stick that word research to only scientists, right? So हम research बोलने से हम सोचते हैं कि अच्छा ये तो scientist का काम है. So my friend, let me tell you, research is needed in every activity what we do. So creative thinking help us to improve our research skill. So how does it help us to improve our research skill? जब हमारा माइंड क्रिएटिवली सोचने लगता है, तो हम चीजों को और परखने लगते हैं. We get deeper into the problems, okay, so as to come up with the right solution. Then, fourth point, stimulates curiosity. तो अगर हमारे में क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग है, तो हम एक बच्चे की तरह सोचने लगते हैं कि अच्छा ये ऐसा होगा तो क्या होगा, अगर हम वो करेंगे तो क्या होगा, इस प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन अगर ये होगा तो क्या होगा. So that actually stimulates curiosity. So we think like a child, asking various questions, right? Then the fifth point, improves creativity. So the entire idea of creative thinking is to result in improved creativity. So अपने creativity को improve करना है. We'll move on to the next. Now, characteristic of a creative person. So how to identify whether I am creative or you're creative or another person is creative? What are the characteristics to identify the person who is creative? The first characteristic what we have to look into is the analytical ability of the person. How well the person is able to analyze the problem. Okay, any problem, चाहे एक machine काम नहीं कर रहा हो, चाहे you're not able to achieve your target, so that is the problem. So most of us, especially those who are in corporate world, वहाँ पे उनको एक target मिलता है कि every day you have to perform so many activities. That is their target. But how well are you able to analyze the problem so as to come up with new ideas? That is what we call it as analytical ability. Then open mindedness. अगर कोई problem है and if somebody comes and asks you कि please help me solve the problem, so you should be having an open mind. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज मैं क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ और मुझे मालूम है यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिनको ऑलरेडी पता है क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग क्या होता है, लेकिन फिर भी यू पीपल आर हियर विथ मी विथ एन ओपन माइंड टू सी what different I'm going to talk about. Am I right? So that is what we call it as open mind. Now, problem solving. Now, if a person is very good at problem solving, who solves the problem in a totally different way or with a new way, that person we consider as creative person. Then, organizational ability. Organizational ability in the sense that person should be able to manage the time. अगर किसी प्रॉब्लम को 1 घंटे में सॉल्व करना है तो he has to finish in that 1 घंटा, 1 घंटे में ही सॉल्व करना है. So he should be knowing how to manage his time. He should be knowing how to prioritize. तो कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, सिचुएशन आता है कि हमारे पास बहुत सारे काम होते हैं और हम उसको prioritize करना भूल जाते हैं. उसके because we forget to prioritize the things, हम अपने ही कामों में ऐसे उलझ जाते हैं कि सारे काम हम पूरा नहीं कर पाते, है ना? So that is why organizational skill is very important to identify whether a person is creative or not. क्योंकि जब हमारे पास ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्किल होता है, we try to have a list of, we call it as priority list. So पहले हम ये करेंगे, दूसरा ये करेंगे, तीसरा ये करेंगे. So that we call it as prioritized list. Okay. So if a person is able to do that, we call that person as creative person. Now communication. So why is communication important? Now, what am I doing with you all? I'm actually communicating with you, right? I'm passing some information. Again, I'm receiving some information from you all. Now, just being creative is not enough. You should be able to communicate that idea to other people. Am I right or wrong? हम सिर्फ क्रिएटिव है, बट हमें पता नहीं है कि उस क्रिएटिविटी को किस तरह एक्सप्रेस किया जाता है. Then what is the point? If you're not able to communicate your creative ideas, then what is the point of being creative? You should be able to communicate. Let me tell you a story, a small story, which I heard from one of my trainers when I'm still doing the course, but I have finished my level 2, where one of my trainers in Indian Academy of Training and Development, she told a story. So I want to repeat the story here, maybe in a different way. There was an industry or a factory, I would say, biscuit factory, जहाँ पे biscuits को पैक किया जाता है. Then they will, biscuit को रैपर में पैक किया जाता है और उसको बॉक्सेस में डाल के डिफरेंट शॉप्स को या फिर कंपनीज को डिलीवर किया जाता है. तो दिस पैकिंग, जो पैकिंग होता है रैपर के साथ, वो मशीन के द्वारा होता है. तो द मशीन विल पैक द बिस्किट्स इन रैपर, एंड एज इट कम्स टू द people, what they do, they will pick the packets and put it in the box, and after they fill about 50 to 60 packets, they will close the box and they will stick a sticker on that and send it to different companies. Now they were facing an issue. The issue was कि कुछ boxes में बहुत सारे खाली packets थे. They didn't contain the biscuits. तो उन packets में biscuits नहीं थे. So the manager came and he was like, what is this happening? The companies are complaining that they are getting empty packets. So ये workers लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? So workers were very attentive in their work, but somehow it was getting missed. Every time they packed 50 or 60 packets in one box, उसमें एक या दो खाली पैकेट चले ही जाते थे. They were not able to, because the function is so fast. उनको एकदम जल्दी उनको पैक करना पड़ता है. उस जल्दबाजी में क्या होता है कि they may miss out and pick up the wrong packets. So they had called experts to discuss and find out the solution for it, but they were not able to. तो वहाँ पे एक the cleaner person or someone, okay, let me call him as a cleaner person. He used to observe that every day, and he wanted to tell. He had one idea. वो एक cleaner है. He is not a technical person, but still he said he wanted to tell that he has an idea, but nobody was ready to listen. Then ये चलता रहा सिलसिला. They tried their best, but they did not get a solution. Then one day, the head of the organization, he called that person कि अच्छा इधर आ जाओ, आप बता सकते हो आपका आइडिया क्या है. See, now this head of the organization, he is keeping his mind open for ideas from a person who's not from technical background. So that is what we call it as open minded. Now, what do you think that person would have suggested? Anyone? जो कि नॉन टेक्निकल पर्सन है, उसने क्या सोल्यूशन दिया होगा? कोई बोल सकता है? Anyone, just try. See, we are not going to judge anyone here. We all are, trying to put information and come up with. Let us see how creative we are. Anyone? किसी को पता है? या फिर आपके पास कोई और आइडिया है? Any idea? No? Okay. So that person, that non-technical person, what he did, he said, okay, I will not tell you, I will show you. So he brought one table fan and he kept it in front of the conveyor belt where जो packets जो सामने आते हैं, उनके सामने he kept a table fan. That's it. इससे क्या होता है? वो टेबल फैन के फोर्स की वजह से जो खाली पैकेट है वो मतलब नीचे गिर जाता है. जो हैवी पैकेट है जिसके अंदर बिस्किट्स है, उसको these people, the workers, can pick up correctly, right? Isn't it an innovative idea? What do you all think? It is, right? See, it is not. See, creativity is not to be associated with only well-educated people. Let me make that very clear. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ well-educated people जो है वो creative होते हैं. So there is nothing to do with that. Creativity can be developed in anyone or by anyone, right? So that was the small incident what I want to share it with you all. I hope you all liked it. Okay, now comes the real part. Now I want you people to do this activity where I want you people to connect these 9 dots. This is called as connect the dots activity. I hope some of you would have heard about it, but still for the others who have not heard or not seen, I want you people to try. Now we need to connect these 9 dots by line segments. That means by drawing lines. So let me just show you once. Not lines, I would say line segment, क्योंकि line तो हम पेपर पे draw नहीं कर सकते, line segment draw कर सकते हैं. So by drawing line segments, we have to connect all the 9 dots. Okay, the rule is that the line should not cross over each other. The line segment should not cross over each other. That is one rule. Second rule, you cannot lift the pen or the pencil. Okay, the line segment should be, अगर आपने ऐसा draw किया, you cannot lift, right? You cannot lift, but it should be again continue like this. So this is the second line segment. Okay, like this, I want you people to try to connect these dots using let me just tell you, yeah, using 5 line segments. Just try to connect these 9 dots using 5 line segments. For example, if I say this is one line segment, okay, oh, it's going away. Let me just correct that again. Yes. So this is one line segment. This is another line segment. Like this, I want you to use 5 line segments and connect these dots. Try it. If you are done, please show it in front of the camera or send the picture in the chat box. Or just raise your hand and tell me how many of you have done it. How many of you could do it? Yes? Okay. Okay, try it to yourself maybe after this, but anyhow, I'm going to show you the answer. Okay, let that answer keep aside. Let us keep it aside. Now let us try with 3-line segment. So can you connect these dots using 3-line segments? Just try. Again, the rule is it should not cut each other. The line segment should not cut each other, and you cannot lift your pen. So this is where we are trying to activate our forebrain, where actually the creative thinking happens. Yes. Okay, so are you ready to see the answer? Yes. So this is how you can connect. So here you can see there are 5-line segments, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here you can see there are 3-line segments. 1, 2, 3. Right? So this is how we can actually induce creative thinking within our mind. Let us move on. Now, can creativity be developed? कि क्या creativity हम develop कर सकते हैं या फिर is it a characteristic which we acquire from our parents or inherit from our parents? So let me tell you, my friends, creativity is not inherited. Creativity को हम inherit नहीं कर सकते, because once we are born, we have to get exposed to various situations or the problems or the environment to think creatively. So creativity is an acquired character, not inherited character. Okay? So yes, definitely we can develop creativity. But how to develop creativity? If you have to be professionally sound in with your work, professionally noticed by people, or personally do your best in your life, you have to be creative. But how can we develop creative thinking or creativity? So there are certain creative tools which we can utilize, and we can develop creative thinking skills. So I'm going to speak about few. Maybe sometime later I can add on more. Now, creativity tools, under that first creativity tool is brainstorming. Brainstorming is nothing but coming up with, or you can say defining a problem, coming up with proper problem. How are we coming up with proper problem? By asking questions. So brainstorming is all about asking questions, so that we understand the problem properly. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपके पास अगर आपके बॉस या फिर आपके जूनियर आते हैं कि सर और मैम हमारे पास हमारा ये प्रॉब्लम है, कैन यू प्लीज हेल्प? Okay, so that is how they come to us. Can you please help me with this problem? Now what is your work as a creative person? What should you do? You should ask questions. Okay, you should ask questions so to understand the problem, to come up with a proper defined problem, and that can be done only by asking questions. तो जब हमें प्रॉब्लम अच्छे से समझ में आ जाता है, तभी हम उसका सॉल्यूशन निकाल सकते हैं. And to understand the problem, what should we do? We have to perform brainstorming. Okay. Now, while performing brainstorming, this can be done in a group or individually. We have to keep certain things in mind, that we should not judge the question asked. सपोज आपके पास कोई आया है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए, और आप कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो या फिर आपसे कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, डोंट जज दैट क्वेश्चन कि वो क्वेश्चन सही है या फिर गलत है. फ्रेंड्स, देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज स्टूपिड, देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज सिंपल, देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन which doesn't have meaning. Okay, each and every question is important when we talk about creativity. Okay, so give space for each and every type of questions. Don't judge anyone based on the question asked. ऐसा बहुत बार होता है जब हम क्लास में पढ़ाते हैं, बच्चे कभी कभी कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं which the teacher may not know the answer, but instead of telling that I don't know the answer, what they do, they tell the student that, what a silly question you have asked. So please don't do that. Let us not do that, because कोई क्वेश्चन सिली नहीं होता है. बच्चा तभी पूछता है जब उसको कुछ डाउट होता है. ओके, देन क्रेजी आइडियाज आर वेलकम. तो जो जनरल आइडियाज होते हैं वो तो सबको पता ही है, दैट दोज आर ऑल विद इन द बॉक्स. बट इफ यू हैव टू थिंक आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स, यू हैव टू कम अप विद क्रेजी आइडियाज, which we are going to do today. Then क्वांटिटी ओवर क्वालिटी. सो यहाँ पे हम क्वांटिटी ऑफ क्वेश्चंस के ऊपर कॉन्सेंट्रेट करेंगे कि कितने सारे क्वेश्चंस हम पूछ सकते हैं उस प्रॉब्लम के बारे में. We are not worried about the quality of the question. So remember that. Then combine different ideas together and come up with new idea. So that is what again brainstorming will help us to combine different ideas. Now, what are the benefits of asking questions? So it helps, to build up involvement of people. It helps to build up the commitment. कि हम जब commit होते हैं तभी हम question करते हैं. It helps to be loyal towards that problem, to solve that problem. And also by asking question, you become very enthusiastic. Because now I am very enthusiastic to ask you some questions. And I want all of you, whoever is possible, please unmute and try to answer, because we are not having the regular way of webinar here. We are having something funful, and it is all about creative thinking. So let us see how creative you are. Now, can anyone tell me what is this? Can anyone tell me what is this?
It's a fork.
It's a fork. Now, can you all please drop it in the chat box or unmute and tell what is it used for? What is it used for? Especially ladies or the people who cook, they will have different uses of these fork.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, can you please give me some examples of the uses of this fork?
As far as me, it's concerned with this eating purpose. No fruits, partaking fruits.
Yes, first is
watermelon.
Wonderful. First is to eat, right? We pick up noodles or fruits. We use fork to eat. Then what else? Anyone?
Maybe kitchen for different uses. Ladies may know better.
Pardon, sir, I couldn't hear you.
Ladies can better explain about the uses.
Yes, we do have good number of ladies here. Even gents, they can also give good inputs here. So we have Lakshmi ma'am. Yes, please. Yes, please.
पुड़ी के ऊपर भी वो ऐसे फोर्क से करते हैं ताकि वो फूले नहीं ऐसे.
हाँ, पूरी के ऊपर भी ऐसे फोक से होल बनाते हैं ताकि वो फूले नहीं. वंडरफुल. और कभी देखा है जब जला हुआ बर्तन होता है तो उसको स्क्रैच करने के लिए भी कभी कभी फोक का यूज किया जाता है. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट इट? फोक या फिर नाइफ, बट फोक इज. एंड ऑल्सो टू मैश पोटैटोज. अभी बनाना को मैश करने के लिए हम फोक का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. बीटिंग एग, have you heard about it? We beat egg with fork. Yes. Can anyone tell me इस fork से हमको क्या सीख मिलती है? So we were talking about the activities or the functionalities of fork, which is within the box. क्योंकि सबको पता है कि fork किस किस चीजों के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. Now I want to keep. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay, Hema Malini ma'am says to put holes in vegetables to cook well. Wonderful. Superb. What about Reena Mondal ma'am? Could you please tell? You were telling something. इस फोक से हमें क्या सीख मिलती है? क्या हम कुछ सीख सकते हैं इस फोक से?
Like a hand.
Pardon?
It's like a hand.
Hand. Yes, it is like a hand.
Yeah.
तो हम अपने फिंगर्स को किस तरह यूज कर सकते हैं, उसी तरह फोक को भी हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. वंडरफुल. What else? It is made up of a metal, right? So if it is made up of metal, what is the quality of a metal? To shine. Fork is shining, right? So we also should shine. And fork is strong because it is made up of, this fork is made up of metal. So don't you think we can learn to be strong like the fork? Yes. And the fork has sharp edges. It has sharp edges. So don't you think we also should be very sharp in whatever we do, or whatever ideas we get? Those ideas should be really sharp ideas. We should not be blunt. Yes. Anyway.
Ma'am, there are many other articles also as sharp as pork. Why do you take up that? My question is.
We could have taken, actually, because of the time constraint, I thought I'll just take one. I have thousands of materials from which we can learn.
Similarly, you have certain, like, you can also take up that knife also. Knife is also sharp. Knife is also whitening.
Yes,
It
yes.
can be also used for good purpose.
Yes, definitely. We could have taken knives also. We can take this phone. Phone, we can take it as an example. Abhi phone ka kaam kya hai, you all know. We
Yes,
can
exactly.
access internet, we can see photos, we can take pictures, we can call somebody, we can communicate information, right? We can gather information, we can have a meeting. अभी बहुत सारे लोग आपके जो भी वेबिनार अटेंड कर रहे हैं वो भी अपने फोन से ही अटेंड कर रहे हैं ना. So these are the quality of the phone. But what can we learn from the phone? That is
How best we can use of this particular item, so that how best we can be useful for the mankind or the society. That's what I presume.
Yes. So we can learn creativity from such non-living things, abiotic things. तो इतने सिंपल से थिंग्स से चीजों से हम क्रिएटिविटी सीख सकते हैं. Okay, so that was the whole fun. Actually, I wanted all of you to unmute and talk, ताकि ये जो सेशन है, it will be, I wanted to have a total different feeling and experience for you all. But nevertheless, thank you so much for all those who gave your input. So I hope you. So अभी हमने कितने सारे ideas collect किए about folk, and we also understood what and all we can learn from folk. So have you ever thought of it कि हम एक folk से कुछ सीख सकते हैं? कभी आपने सोचा था? Did you ever think कि एक folk से हम ये सीख सकते हैं कि हम strong रह सकते हैं, sharp रह सकते हैं, shine कर सकते हैं? कभी सोचा था? Can you please answer? Anyone? Have you ever thought?
No.
Nahi. So that is where our creativity comes into picture. So henceforth, try to be creative, try to think, what can we learn from different things. ऐसे सोचने से क्या होता है, आपका जो ब्रेन है, जो फोर ब्रेन है, जो एक्टिव सेंटर्स हैं, they will get actually activated. Okay, and you will come up with new ideas, and that will helpful to you indirectly in your professional and personal life. अभी ये सोच रहे होंगे कि अच्छा इससे क्या हमें सीख मिलती है, how is it going to make us creative? My friends, there are many of my clients who have done all these activities and they have been very successful in their lives. Okay, so it is very important to be creative. अपने बचपना को फिर से जगाइए. Okay, the next tool about creativity. Okay, how can we inculcate creativity? That is what we are talking about here. Scamper. This is another tool which we call it as scamper. S stand for substitute. Substitute मतलब अगर ये चीज है, इस चीज के बदले हम कुछ और क्या कर सकते हैं. जैसे अभी सर ने बोला आपने फोक क्यों लिया, why not knife? So knife is a substitute for fork, right? Yes. So knife is also sharp. Knife can also be used for scraping. Knife can also be used for making holes. So we have to learn to substitute things, learn to combine things. So two different things को एक combine करके एक नया चीज बनाना भी creativity है. Then adapt. So whatever the situation is, to adapt to that situation, that is what is again creativity. Now, you know what? Even in nature, the creativity exists. How? Each and every person is different. My parents, like I have two sisters, okay, and all three of us, we all look different. We all are born to the same couple, but still we all are different. So that is the creativity which is there in our DNA. All of us are human beings, but still we all are different. That is where the creativity plays a role, right? So from nature or in nature there is always creativity. From nature we can learn many things, and this adapting new ideas is necessary to be creative. Now modify. अगर आपके पास कुछ ideas आए हैं, so you need to modify in such a way that it will be the right solution for the problem. So that is where modification plays a role. Then put to another use. अभी एक चीज को जो usual use होता है उसको totally different use उसमें डालना. So that is what we call it as put to another use. I will tell you the example. Now eliminate. जो जो unnecessary है उसको eliminate करना, that again is a part of creativity. Now ये जो कार दिख रहा है, कोई बता सकते हैं कि which car is this? Anyone? छोटा सा कार है, तो कौन सा कार है जो कि छोटा सा है?
Tata's vehicle.
कौन सा कार है, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? नैनो.
Nano.
Yes, wonderful. तो ये नैनो कार का जो क्रिएशन है वो भी एक, it is an act of creativity. So I have seen Tata Birla sir's interview, where Ratan Tata sir's interview, where he mentioned कि जब वो गाड़ी में ट्रैवल कर रहे थे कार में, उन्होंने दो लोगों को बाइक पर जाते देखा, एंड आई थिंक ही सॉ द एक्सीडेंट व्हाट हैपेंड, एंड ही डिसाइडेड कि ये लोग इनको हेलमेट पहनना जरूरी होता है, जो भी बाइक में जा रहा होता है, एंड इट इज नॉट सेफ ऑल्सो. So he wanted to invent or create a car which would be affordable to the middle class people at the same cost as that of a bike. आजकल बाइक तो बहुत कॉस्टली है, it is in lakhs now. So he created this nano car by substituting the various engines what he used for the bigger cars, by combining various machineries and parts which helped him to come up with the new idea of creating a small car. Then adaptation again. See, people in the middle class family, of course, they have to travel every day here and there for every if they have to purchase some, if they have to go to market, they want to go by bike or cycle or whatever. Now he wanted to create the car in such a way which can adapt the ट्रैफिक नेसेसिटीज. आजकल के जमाने में आपको पता है कितना ट्रैफिक है, और उस ट्रैफिक में हम बेंज कार तो नहीं लेके जा सकते. So he created one small car which can adapt to the situation. Then he modified this car in such a way that it is cost effective, and he put various parts here for different utilities, right? Maybe जो मेटल है, हाई क्वालिटी मेटल के बदले में उन्होंने कोई ऐसा मेटल यूज किया होगा जो कि थोड़ा चीपर रेट हो, बट अगेन ड्यूरेबल हो. ओके. देन एलिमिनेशन. सो जो बड़े कार में जो होते हैं, दैट ऑल ही एलिमिनेटेड टू ब्रिंग और टू कट डाउन द कॉस्ट, एंड ऑल्सो टू गिव द लग्जरी टू द मिडिल क्लास पीपल to go by car. So this is an idea which is given by our great Tata sir. So that is camper method. Now this person, and his name is Tony Buzan, he came up with something called as mind maps. So mind map is again a creativity tool which helps us to organize things, plan better, and come up with the right solution. So have you heard about mind map? ये तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने सुना ही होगा mind map. Have you heard about mind map? सुना है क्या? Yes. So हम बच्चों को माइंड मैप सिखाते हैं, एक्चुअली कॉन्सेप्ट मैप सिखाते हैं बच्चों को हम स्कूल में, कि अगर कोई भी टॉपिक हो. यस मैम, एनीबडी वांट्स टू से समथिंग? आई वुड बी हैप्पी टू लिसन टू यू. ओके. तो माइंड मैप जो है, यस, तो माइंड मैप, यस, माइंड मैप, यस सर, थैंक यू फॉर दैट इनपुट. माइंड मैप का मतलब है कि हमारे माइंड में जो थॉट्स हैं या फिर आइडियाज हैं, उसको एक ग्राफ के जैसे या फिर मैप के जैसे प्रेजेंट करना. ओके. यहाँ पे मैप, जो माइंड मैप जो है वो सीधा सीधा लाइन से नहीं है. आपने टेक्स्ट बुक में कॉन्सेप्ट मैप देखे होंगे या फिर फ्लो चार्ट देखा होगा, जहाँ पे एकदम सीधा सीधा लाइन होगा, स्ट्रेट लाइंस, या फिर स्लीपिंग लाइन और स्टैंडिंग लाइन. These mind maps are slightly different. Here, if you see behind Tony Buzan, you can see the lines are all wavy and curvy, right? It actually represents the neurons of our brain. So neurons का मतलब सबको पता ही होगा, nerve cells. Nerve cells जो होते हैं वो सारे उनके dendrites होते हैं जो कि branched होते हैं. So every dendrite. So what is the function of these neurons? To transfer impulses, and those impulses will be generated in the form of thoughts. So Tony Buzan said, we can go, or we can, he created this mind map which will help us to come up with various ideas. तो कॉन्सेप्ट मैप में क्या होता है, एक के नीचे एक, देयर इज अ लिमिटेड स्पेस अवेलेबल, और यू कैन से देयर इज लिमिटेड आइडिया देयर. बट माइंड मैप में हाउ मेनी एवर आइडियाज यू वांट, यू कैन कीप ऑन एडिंग. सो वो पेड़ बढ़ता ही रहता है, वो न्यूरॉन्स ब्रांचेस फॉर्म होते ही रहते हैं. सो वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल ऑफ माइंड मैप इज दिस. I know it looks very, as if it is a web, but once you start one by one, this will help you to ease down your daily process, maybe in your daily life as well as in your professional life. तो यहाँ पे एक माइंड मैप क्रिएट किया गया है हेल्थ के बारे में. तो हेल्थ, which are the main factors which affect health? Stress affect करता है. If we perform exercise, that also affect our health in a positive way. Yes. And if we seek help from different personalities like a doctor, dietitian, or if you follow a nutrition chart, that also affects our health in a positive way. Then following a proper diet, that also affects our health. Then sleep, that also affects our health. So sleep किस तरह affect करता है? So further we have branch. For example, I'll take up only one example. This is stress. तो stress हमारे health को negatively affect करता है. Now when we say stress, what are the different types of stress? So उसको हम क्या करते हैं? Again, branches. So causes of stress, exams, work, relationship. There can be stress due to various reasons. Then what are the effects of the stress? So can you see the branches coming out from stress? Effects. People may cry. People may get stomach upset. जब भी कोई important interview होता है या फिर अभी सेमिनार है किसी का, they may have that butterflies in their stomach, right? So there are various branches which we can keep on working with this, adding the branches so that we will come up with a mind map. And this mind map you can stick it on your wall and follow whatever it says. So इस तरह आप अपने बर्थडे पार्टीज ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हैं, आपके ऑफिस के काम या फिर कोई इवेंट है उसको आपको मैनेज करना है, you can have a mind map for that. Daily cooking, every day, Sunday को क्या होगा, Monday को क्या होगा, you can make a list or a mind map for your daily cooking. So there are various concepts which can come into this, and you can create mind map like this. I hope you got the point. Since we don't have much time, I'm just I just explained one part, that is stress. Further, so what did we do today? We learned about what are the various different types of creativity tools. We spoke about what is actually creative thinking skill, how to become innovative, how to solve problems, or you can say how creativity helps in solving problems, how to make ourselves future ready by activating our brain's creativity. Now, what will you get from this? You will be able to perform better in your professional and personal life. Now, to sum up everything, I have come up with my favorite legend, that is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir, who says, learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking leads to knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. So I want everyone to follow these whatever steps we have discussed and become great in your life. So thank you everyone. All the best.
हेलो, नमस्ते मैडम. मैडम पहले तो ढेरों बधाई कि आप इतनी शुद्ध और इतनी साफ हिंदी बोलती हैं. और दूसरा ये भी मैं पूछना चाहूँगा कि बहुत सारे ऐसे शब्दों का आपने उपयोग किया है जो गैर हिंदी भाषी क्षेत्र में नहीं किया जाता. तो हिंदी बहुत ही साफ और सुथरी थी. बोलचाल की भाषाओं का जो दिल्ली के आसपास बोली जाती है वे शब्दों का उपयोग किया. दूसरा एक सवाल पूछूंगा मैडम. दो प्रकार के बच्चे होते हैं घर में, एक सुस्त होता है कि नटखट होता है. नटखट होता है वो कुछ ना कुछ क्रिएटिव मतलब रचनात्मक सोच होती है, उसमें कुछ ना कुछ करता है. लेकिन जो सुस्त होता है, एज पेरेंट्स है, जो माता पिता है, उनको उस बच्चे में रचनात्मक सोच पैदा करने के लिए कौन से कदम उठाने चाहिए?
Thank you for that question, sir. धन्यवाद उस question के लिए. Now I want to know वो सुस्त क्यों feel करता है. So first we have to understand the root cause. वो सुस्त क्यों फील करता है, वो क्यों सुस्त है, क्या उसको इंटरेस्ट नहीं है किसी चीज में, या फिर इज ही फोर्स टू डू समथिंग, क्या उसको फोर्स किया जाता है कि तुम्हें पढ़ना ही चाहिए, तुम्हें ये करना ही पड़ेगा। क्योंकि जो एनवायरनमेंट है, एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट है, दैट प्लेज अ मेजर रोल व्हाई द चाइल्ड इज बिहेविंग लाइक दैट। तो वो रूट कॉज हमें समझना है, उसको समझने के बाद उससे, एंड दैट हाउ कैन वी डू इट, बाय ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग। तो इसलिए मैंने बोला था ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग, आस्क द चाइल्ड, क्वेश्चन द चाइल्ड, क्वेश्चन द पेरेंट हु इज स्ट्रगलिंग विद दैट, कि वो क्यों फील कर रहा है। कभी ऐसा ये कोशिश किया हमने कि बच्चे से बात करने की, आई नो इट हैपेंस इन एवरी हाउस कि हम बच्चे को डांटते रहते हैं कि हमेशा सोया रहता है, हमेशा सुस्त पड़ा रहता है। कभी हमने पूछने की कोशिश की कि क्या प्रॉब्लम है। So that is where, you know, we have to think about the problem, and once you come up with the problem, try to think about the solution. So one of the activities what I would suggest would be, उसको ऐसे चीजों में मतलब डालिए जिसमें उसका इंटरेस्ट है। मे बी उसको ड्राइंग में इंटरेस्ट है, मे बी कराटे में इंटरेस्ट है, मे बी किसी में भी। ऐसा मेरे को एक एग्जाम्पल याद है एक बच्चे का, जिस बच्चे को मेरे पास लाया गया था, छोटा सा बच्चा था, तो वो बच्चा भी एकदम सुस्त था। तो लाइक सुस्त वो तभी होता है जब उसको पढ़ना होता है। तो उनके मम्मी ने बोला कि मैम ये हमेशा जब भी पढ़ना चालू करता है तो वो सो जाता है। तो इट वाज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क फॉर मी कि मैं उसको कैसे पढ़ाऊं, क्योंकि उसको पढ़ने में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है। फिर मैंने उससे बात की कि आपको क्या इंटरेस्ट है, तो ही डिडंट टेल मी, एक्चुअली हिज सिस्टर टोल्ड मी, मैम उसको कराटे में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है, जब कराटे करता है तो फुल एनर्जी के साथ करता है। So what I did, I made him do karate, and while doing karate, I made him learn the tables. So usko within few minutes he learned the tables. Okay, and that is the power of creativity. ये तो मैंने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था कि मैं किसी को कराटे के साथ टेबल सिखाऊंगी, but that boy made me do that. Okay, that instant that creativity happened. So that depends on finding out the problem first, then we can come up with the solution. Sir, I hope you got my answer. If you want more explanation, I'm here.
धन्यवाद मैडम। और मैडम मैं हिंदी के प्रचार प्रसार में भी लगा हूँ, तो ये हिंदी भाषा आपने कहाँ से सीखी इतनी शुद्ध? थोड़ा सा एक सवाल गैर वेनार है, मैं माफी चाहूंगा वेट कर सर से।
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं। आई एम हैप्पी सर, मेरे को बहुत खुशी हो रही कि आपने ये पूछा। एक्चुअली मेरा जो बैकग्राउंड है, मेरे पापा आर्मी में थे, तो हमने सिर्फ एक जगह से पढ़ाई नहीं की। हम पंजाब में चंडीगढ़, अमृतसर में थे, देन वी वेंट टू कैलकाटा। तो केवी में पढ़ाई की है मैंने, केंद्रीय विद्यालय में, जहाँ पे हिंदी ज्यादा बोली जाती है।
मैडम ये जो क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग है, whether it is inherited or it is learned?
It is totally learned, sir. That's what I said कि inherited जो क्रिएटिविटी कभी इनहेरिट हो ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि क्रिएटिविटी तब आता है जब हमको चाहिए होता है। When we need to do, then only we are creative. Okay, so this is learned. This is acquired characteristic, not genetic characteristic. Anybody can become creative.
No, madam, there are some instances where the small, no, they were never exposed to any environment, but they become good singers. They become good something technically expert, and the small kids having the mathematics. Just now I was watching one video where one small girl like Shakuntala Devi, mathematical.
Yes.
She was such a fast. It is a creative baby, about third standard baby. She was just any number you tell, big number, addition or subtraction something. She was just. So why don't you consider this can be also inherited, God given also creativity?
So let me.
It is acquired. It can be also be. I think there are certain instances.
Yes. Now I want to ask you a question. Thank you for that, giving me the example of Dr. Shakuntala Devi. I really admire her. But have you ever thought, were parents also like that? If she get inherited from the parents, she's not like that. If you are seeing her parents acting in such a way at home, or coming up with new things, or helping her in calculation, it totally depends on the environment. Okay, maybe if you go and talk to her children, like Dr. Shakuntala Devi's children, they may not do the calculation as fast as the mother, because if it is genetics, it should be there in the entire generation, right? It is not like that. Creativity completely comes from the environment, what we learn. Even I have seen people from lower background who have become great singers. Now, why do you think they have become great singers? It is not because of the genetics reason. They must be having beautiful voice, which is genetics. But having the ability to sing is not from genetics. They have to learn. Unless you learn, it is not necessary that you have to learn Saregamapa. So I have also not learned much, but still I sing well.
That's what I'm saying, that it can be learned, it can be also by inheritance, also by God given. Because I can also give you example of few mathematical experts, also few scientists also. They were not really graduated or not really for a very good schooling, but they have made wonders. So again, because of their creativity, their own thinking abilities, how
Yes.
best you make use of your mind, that will give you good boost of use of your energies to a right direction also. So that's
Yes.
how, of course, creative thinking is. It can be what I presume. Maybe I may not be right, but what I presume personally, that yes, it can be inherited if provided without any background. Also, you can make big wonders also.
Yes, wonderful. But let me tell you one more thing, sir. कि creativity के लिए, you know what, that willingness to create, willingness to think is necessary. Creativity is nothing to do with education. So education is totally different from learning. So education जो जो हम स्कूल में सीखते हैं, पढ़ाई, वो totally different from what we get exposed. अभी आपने मिलिट्री में नॉट्स देखे होंगे. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ नॉट्स?
Yes,
जो
absolutely.
इंजीनियर्स होते हैं उनको डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ नॉट्स, दैट इज अगेन अ क्रिएटिविटी. इट इज नॉट फ्रॉम जेनेटिक्स, इट इज नॉट फ्रॉम जेनेटिक्स. ओके, अगर मेरी आवाज अच्छी है, दैट इज जेनेटिक्स, बिकॉज माय पेरेंट्स माइट बी हैविंग जीन्स फॉर प्रोड्यूसिंग गुड वॉइस. बट
The
अगर
example, madam, fine. You can take the artists also. There are people like having no background. They draw very beautiful pictures on the road, on the wall, and they and they beg for that. People
Yes.
that's my maybe you may differ with my opinion, because every the differences for something constructive thing is always advisable, it is preferred also. But there are, ma'am, to say that creativity can be learned, but it can also be, and that's only my submission.
Yes, definitely. Thinking capacity, वो हमें, as I said, the need, necessity is the need of, or you can say mother of all creativity, right? Or invention. अभी कोई रोड पे बैठ के बनाता है. I know, even I have seen कि एक ग्लास पे हाथ से पेंटिंग करता है आदमी. That shows how creative is, how smart he is in his work. But we need to check, do their parents also, do his parents also have the same capacity? I hope you're getting my point. Maybe the
Yes,
neurons
yes.
may be working, but the ability I'm talking about, the ability to draw, do his parents also have the same ability? If they do have, then I will accept it as genetics.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So I do agree with you. I totally understand your question. But we have to really work on it. Further research is still going on. So it is research is not yet completed. Still, people are working on it to understand, can it be genetics?
That's what you asked at the beginning. What is the meaning of it's novelty and utility? How best you can think of new ideas. That
Yes.
requires thinking process. Of course, I do agree with that.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Anyone? Any other question, please?
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Am I audible? Hello.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Yeah. Is any role of the doing practice or the role of the culture about the creativity? Because some travels are also doing the making the home in 1 day, 2 day, in natural in the wild forest areas. And can we say that it is also role of doing the practice and more?
So can you frame it in a different way? विद्यासागर सर, आप अगर उसी क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा दूसरे तरीके से पूछ सकते हैं.
या मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि क्या इसको प्रैक्टिस का भी रोल होता है या कल्चर का रोल? कल्चर जैसे जहाँ कुछ जैसे जापानी लोग क्रिएटिव होते हैं, तुरंत वहाँ बॉम्ब फेंका गया था तो उसके बाद तुरंत उन्होंने कैसे खड़ा कर लिए। और कई ट्राइबल एरियाज में, बहुत नॉर्थ ईस्ट में देखता हूँ कि 2 दिन में पूरे घर को तैयार कर लेते हैं बब्बू से तुरंत। लेकिन हम लोग बहुत सीमेंट लाओ तो ऐसे करते हैं, बहुत टाइम लगाते हैं। तो इस दोनों में क्या प्रैक्टिस का भी कोई रोल होता है? थैंक यू मैम।
हाँ जी सर, थैंक यू फॉर द क्वेश्चन सर। यस, कल्चर हैज अ रोल हियर। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर हमारे कल्चर में, हिंदू कल्चर में क्या करते हैं, रंगोली डालते हैं, है ना। We see that some people are very good in making rangoli and the same person would be good in drawing also. So rangoli एक cultural art है या फिर cultural practice है, but then the same person would be excellent even in drawing. So drawing क्या है? It is a part of creativity. Yes, culture does play a role in inculcating creativity. तो डेफिनेटली अभी आप चाइनीज के बारे में या फिर जापानीज के बारे में बोल रहे हैं कि दे आर एबल टू बिल्ड थिंग्स विद इन शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, बट व्हाट मेक्स देम डू इट? आर द थिंग्स अवेलेबल? आर द अथॉरिटीज हेल्पफुल देयर? So वो भी it that also matters, right? If they are able to create something within a day or within few days, so what is helping them to do that? That also we have to think. So हम ऐसा नहीं है कि Indians are not capable of. We are capable much better than them. But उनको availability है क्या उन चीजों की? वो facilities है क्या? वो help मिल रहा है क्या? So that we need to think. एंड वन अनदर एग्जांपल, चंद्रयान 2 जो था वो फेल हो गया था, आपने देखा? यस, वो फेल हो गया था। एवरीवन वर फीलिंग सैड एंड पीपल अब्रॉड दे स्टार्टेड पॉइंटिंग आउट फिंगर्स एट अस, सेइंग दैट जब आपको काम आता ही नहीं है तो क्यों करना है? दोज वर द वर्डिंग्स फॉर इंडिया, बट डिड इंडियंस कीप क्वाइट? डिड यू सी द ब्यूटीफुल लॉन्च ऑफ चंद्रयान 3? तो उस चंद्रयान 3 में कुछ तो क्रिएटिविटी लाया होगा उन्होंने, जिससे कि वॉट एवर प्रॉब्लम दे हैड दे वर एबल टू सॉल्व। यस, तो यस, आवर एनवायरनमेंट अभी हम तो सॉल्व नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज वी आर नॉट फ्रॉम दैट बैकग्राउंड। Okay, so only technical person in that area, they will have the knowledge of the technicality and then come up with creativity. तो क्रिएटिविटी के लिए आपकी एजुकेशन जरूरी नहीं है, बट किस चीज में क्रिएटिविटी चाहिए, दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट, दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। आई कैन नॉट गो एंड गिव सजेशन कि आप रॉकेट में ये ऐसा कीजिए, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट अ पर्सन फ्रॉम रॉकेट साइंस, राइट? तो यस, आवर बैकग्राउंड ऑल्सो मैटर्स।
That's why I said that madam, Indians are good at know-how, but poor at show-how. Just sir ने बताया कि Japanese वगैरह they have got good exposure, they have got good opportunity. As you already mentioned that people have supporting, but we are here Indian. A lot of talent is there, but they're not getting the opportunity to expose them. What happened? Success is a part of the any what you call activity, but you should not take any always failure as always you are. So that is what human tendency. When you do fail, they will just pointing out the fingers as far as India is concerned. But other country doesn't really matter the lot.
Yes, absolutely right, sir. So any more questions? thank you, sir. And I really thank Dr. Bedkar, sir, and the entire team who made this possible. And it is a wonderful experience for me. This is the fourth time, but I feel that this is the first time I'm giving. And the audience who really support the speaker here, that is what matters. And thank you again. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all got benefited by this. And I'm a trainer. If anybody is interested in undergoing any personal development training or any course, please approach me. Thank you so much. Definitely, sir. Definitely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Please give your feedback, which I will cherish forever.